Hello and what is going on, lovely people of the internet? It is Who Money here with another video for you guys today. Today we're going to be giving you guys an update on VIH or VPC Impact. Guys, this past week I have not been making videos and I took a little bit of a break from the stock market with this volatility, but I'm going to make everything crystal clear of what happened. I was paying attention somewhat, but honestly I just needed a break and I took that break. And yeah, so we have VIH. So a lot has happened. The price of this is back down to $10.28 as of close on Friday. And I don't really like doing this. I hate calling out names. However, there's a huge reason why this stock did dump off. It wasn't even that much of a dump off, considering some of the other types of short squeeze plays, but especially if you were holding options positions, which we're gonna look at some of the premiums of the options and how those prices compared to the actual stock price. But if you were holding options, you definitely did get pretty much dumped on Monday. The stock options prices all pretty much crashed like crazy, about 50%. And I don't like naming names, but we're gonna have to talk about some stuff. So anyways, guys, if you guys wanted to join my Discord, the link is below in the description, first thing in the description, and you can join our community. We talk about all different types of stocks down there. And yeah, so let's just get right into this. Alright, so I've made a video about this before, giving credit to Gurgavin for finding this play on VIH, and there's a few things that were a bit suspicious with his behavior in this stock. So around September 1st / September 2nd, he tweeted out and he messaged in his Discord that he was adding to VIH. Alright, so at the time, VIH, as you guys can see, let's see, September 2nd, it was still sitting around the price floor of about $10 per share. So at this price, there's pretty much no downside risk because a special purpose acquisition company, they have a net asset value that is redeemable in cash for $10 a share. So at any point as a shareholder, you can call up VIH and say, hey, give me $10 per share. So if you get in around $10 per share, you're pretty much risk-free in a SPAC. But options are completely different because options aren't just priced by buy and sell orders. Options are priced through the Black-Scholes model, and options prices can be manipulated based on time to maturity, implied volatility. So just taking a look at one of the most popular call options for VIH, this one has probably the most open interest. It's the October 15th, 2021, 12.5 call option. So you can actually chart this out on Thinkorswim, and we're gonna take a look at the premium. So over here on September 2nd, you can see September 2nd up here in the corner. Right here, you can see the date and time. He said it, he tweeted out he was getting into VIH around September 2nd, around 12 p.m. I'm in his Discord group. I actually paid for his premium membership, so I have access to where he actually said he's buying and selling this stock. It was around 12 p.m. on September 2nd. As you guys can see over there on the right, the cost of this call option was about 0.26, and just the days before it was around 0.2. So we're gonna just say he bought this call option, average cost $0.23, $23 per contract. So after that, immediately after, you can see the volume goes up like crazy. This volume indicator down here goes up like crazy. The premium skyrockets all the way up to 0.9. So if you take 0.9 divided by 0.22, which is what he got it for, that's already a 4x on your money. And that's just within the first hour. If you're just looking at the stock price alone for VIH, around 12 p.m. on September 2nd, it was $10 per share. And by the end of the day, it gets up to around $10.12, reaching a high of $10.40. So at that point, if you do $10.40 divided by $10, that's only a 4% gain. But if you compare that to the options premium jump, that's a 300% gain if you bought in on the options before all this implied volatility goes crazy. So just because the share price only went up 4% on that day does not mean anything, because the options premiums went up about 300%. Now this is a 100% due to implied volatility going up, or if you can see here, there's more volume, there's more demand for these contracts, implied volatility goes up. So that's the first piece of information here. Gurgavin gets into this play when it's at $10 per share for shares, so there's absolutely zero downside if you get in at $10 per share, correct? Then he also got into the options plays, but the prices of those went up extremely after he tweets it out, posts to his Discord, because demand for those contracts go up, implied volatility of those contracts go up. Now, I wouldn't be saying all this if he just bought shares. Yes, he did buy shares still before everyone else and has the absolute floor price, so it's almost impossible for him to lose money on shares. But the real manipulation was happening with the options premiums, because if you can get this artificial demand into a stock by saying it's going to short squeeze 100%, you can get people to buy call options on said stock and make the implied volatility go up. So you already make 500% gains on an options contract when the stock only goes up like 10%, just because you're implying a huge move in the future, and people who, the options buyers, are also paying for that huge move now because, well, that's what your thesis was. The thesis was that VIH would double to $20 per share. So because of that thesis, people had no problem buying at these elevated price levels because the profit loss was still extremely high, given that VIH continued to go up in share price. So coming back here to the chart of the options premium, we can see this red candlestick. This is the day that Gur announces to his Discord that he is selling. And as you guys can see, this is market open. You can see this little light shaded region. As soon as market open, you can also see this huge volume candle that happened. As soon as he said that he was selling, the options premium go down from about $1.30 all the way down to 0.86, or even lower on that day to 0.76. So if you held on to your options that day, you would have lost about 50% of your money just because the demand was artificially deflated in VIH after it had already been artificially inflated. And if you look at the share price on that day, it closed at $11 per share, and then it opened the next day at $10.74 per share. So it wasn't really a huge loss in terms of share price, but options premiums went down 50%. And both of these events coincides when Gurgavin sent out a buy alert for VIH and sent out a sell alert for his options positions in VIH. There's no coincidence here. The huge moves in options premiums were completely decided by the artificial implied volatility based off of Gurgavin's buy and sell alerts. Share price of the stock did reflect this as well, but the options just makes it absolutely clear that it was 100% priced off of these buy and sell alerts. So at least in the options market, I do believe that there was a pump and dump orchestrated by Gurgavin. I hate to say it, I hate calling people out for doing scummy things, but it seems to happen a lot in this niche. I only want positivity for everyone. I want everyone to make money, but if someone's clearly making money off of your back, you gotta know what's going on. I truly did believe in VIH because of the fundamentals of this play. The fact that there is a price floor of $10 per share, and people can put more money into it without having to worry about a 50, 70, 80% loss in a super risky stock. So there was a lot of things going for VIH, tons and tons of short interest, a very high days to cover, which we can look at some of the Ortex data in a minute. But I wanted to show you guys that there was some suspicious behavior here. There was a pump and dump going on. And I don't know, I think what happened was pretty illegal. And I think the options prices that we just went over tells the story itself. So I think that was pretty illegal what happened. I hate being like a whistleblower here. I hate calling people out. It sucks. It really does suck because I'm not one to spread that type of negativity or whatever, but I know a lot of people are invested into this play. I know I put a lot of people on to Gurgavin for coming up with this play in the first place, so it would be a disservice for me to uncover this and not tell you guys. It sucks. It was a pump and dump. There is a chance that VIH could continue to rise, but I don't know if people want to make this thing squeeze given what already happened in this stock. Some scummy things have happened, so why would you let someone who's holding like 50,000, like 100,000 shares profit off of you again? It's just kind of ridiculous. I held through the dump. I saw my options premiums go down about 50%, so I am a bag holder. Call me the salty bag holder, whatever. I still made a few $100 from it. I was just trying to get out before it got even uglier, because I knew exactly what happened as soon as it happened. The events all coincide, the options premiums line up. There is a lot of potential for VIH. It's still at a 47% short interest. 832 million shares are being currently shorted out of roughly their 16 million share float. I don't know the number off the top of my head. Days to cover still at 6.83, so it's still very, very squeezable given that the share price remains above $11 per share and there continues to be a raise in the cost to borrow. But the fact that this was orchestrated by like a pump and dump, someone who said, oh, I think VIH is going to double, this could easily double, and then they dump it after a 10% gain. So even though there is tons of potential for VIH, my same convictions that I had before remain true, especially at these lower price levels, closer to $10 per share. It kind of just leaves a sour taste in my mouth talking about a stock, pumping up a stock, knowing that there's kind of a manipulative pump and dump scheme going on behind it. So I talked about it enough. I think that if you guys are bullish on this stock, you should continue to do your own research and continue to research and talk about this stock on your own terms. But I don't want to use my platform here on YouTube to talk about this. I still might consider buying into VIH, but I'm not going to make a video about it. Join my Discord group using that link below if you do want to talk more about VIH. There's a dedicated VIH channel in there for everyone to talk about it, spread due diligence or whatever. Again, I just don't want to use my platform here on YouTube to continue talking about VIH, so we're gonna go and get into some other stocks. So make sure you guys subscribe and stick around for all that, and I hope you guys have enjoyed. Sorry this wasn't a super perma bull type video. I just wanted to tell you guys the truth. I wanted to be real with you guys, and yeah, that's about it. Peace.